Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual pricing for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 62-year-old male. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. We have these quoters on just about every page. You'd simply select the state you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday, the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies in your state with all the lowest pricing. And then you can use that to compare to all these silly companies out there that offer you these ridiculously low rates, these teaser rates that are always too good to be true. And then when they actually get on the phone with you, they try to upsell you. So we can help you immensely, and you'll be a much smarter consumer. You can also call us directly at 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you out there as well. Now, first thing you need to understand as a 62-year-old male is a $25,000 policy going to do everything you want it to do? Is it going to take care of all your final expenses? And that would typically fall into two categories, cremation or burial. Now, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is right between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. And if you're going to have a cremation and have some sort of ceremony, maybe a remembrance of life or celebration of life ceremony, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. So yes, $25,000 would definitely cover that and leave money left over. What we find though is a lot of the times people who want that higher amount of coverage, they want to leave money behind for their kids. And then as we get older, it gets a little bit more expensive. And they're shocked at that $25,000 and they go, oh, there's no way I'm going to do that. And then they just forget everything. We actually don't recommend over-insuring or using this type of insurance to leave money for the kids. We really recommend you just getting what you need and what fits your budget. So from a cremation standpoint, we would typically recommend for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, right around $5,000 to $7,000. That's going to be more insurance than you need right off the bat. And God forbid, if you did die sooner, there's a little extra funds there to maybe pay for some other final expenses or medical bills or something like that. But also, we're building some coverage in there because we know that as time goes on, things get more expensive due to inflation. And we're protecting you against inflation too, while still keeping the coverage amount low. So we would typically recommend $5,000 to $7,000 for the cremation and the ceremony, funeral center, or the ceremony, the celebration of life, whatever that would be. We'd typically recommend somewhere between $7,000 to $10,000. Now, keep in mind, if you needed to start at $5,000, you can do that. And if you ever wanted to add more coverage later, we help people do that. That's easy to do. And we just really want people to get a policy that they're going to be able to afford for the rest of their lives. And don't overinsure because maybe that may be too expensive at some point in the future. And we just don't want that to happen to folks. Now, if you're looking at a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. So if you walk into most funeral homes in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll get things done, but it's not going to be fancy. But just keep in mind, I can't imagine where they would let a $10,000 check walk out their door and go down the road to one of their competitors and give them that business. Just understand, it's not going to be fancy by any means. And the other thing is at age 62, if you are blessed to live to age 72 or 82, that $10,000 is not going to be enough in the future. So we are typically recommending somewhere between $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000 typically for a 62-year-old male. Could you get $25,000? Yeah, if it made sense in your budget and you had the need for that much. But again, if your budget's tight, get $10,000 and we can always help you add more coverage later. That way you've at least got some immediate first day coverage, which that's so important. Let's talk about first day coverage. We always recommend you get first day coverage or benefits. That's the only thing we help people with at Funeral Funds America. We do not recommend those 2-year waiting period plans. I'm going to talk about those in a moment, but first day coverage, what that means is hypothetically, if your insurance policy started today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to send you a check for $25,000 if that's your coverage amount. That's exactly what you want. You don't want a 2-year waiting period in there. Now, sometimes people would say, well, I want the first day coverage, but they ask health questions, and I'm not in the best of health. To which we say, hey, your health is our problem. It's not your problem. And 90 to 95% of the time, we're getting people first day coverage or benefits because we work with enough different insurance companies. They all ask different health questions. They all have different underwriting requirements. And again, we're terrific at what we do at getting people first day coverage. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health or medical issues going on. Like, let's say you had a terminal illness and you were going to pass away in the next 12 months. Or if you had dementia, or you were on dialysis, or in a hospital, or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd typically just refer you out to a different insurance company. And also, it seems like every week, at least one person will call us and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week, and they don't have any insurance, and we don't have any money, and their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director is not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quickly so that we can get a check to give to the funeral home. And we have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that is going to give a dead person a policy. You actually have to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's really tragic that somebody knew that they were going to die someday. It's not a surprise. And they probably planned on getting this insurance someday. And then someday just showed up a little bit too early. And now their family's got to figure this out, and they don't have the money. They may have to put this on credit cards or finance. It may take them 4 or 5 years to pay off. And, man, just what a financial burden, but what an emotional burden too. Just knowing that somebody who said they loved and cared about them just dumped this on them and left them to struggle with this at an already difficult time when they passed away. It's a terrible legacy to leave behind. And every time your name comes up, in the future, people will probably think, oh man, we're still paying on his funeral, and it sucks, right? So don't be that person. This insurance is affordable. If you need to start smaller, we can help you out. And we can always add more coverage later. So there's no excuse not to do this. Let's talk about the 2-year waiting period plans. Now, Colonial Penn is probably one of the better known plans out there. Their $9.95 plan, if you did not know, that is a 2-year waiting period plan. No, you don't want that. There's other companies out there too that have 2-year waiting periods, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, and AIG and Gerber. There's a bunch of other insurance companies too. That's the only thing they sell is 2-year waiting period plans. And some of these companies have done a really great job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. And, to that, we always say, do not fall for such silliness, such nonsense. Do not fall for that, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, if you look at a 62-year-old male, probably watching that Colonial Penn $9.95 commercial, they're probably looking at that and going, oh my gosh, I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. I bet even I could get $50,000 for $9.95. And then they check with Colonial Penn, or they pull it up on Colonial Penn's website like we've done here for you. And they see that a 62-year-old male for 1 unit of coverage here, $9.95, is only going to pay $1,057. Now, I'm not even sure $1,057 is going to be enough to pay for a cremation in most parts of the country. But it doesn't matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period anyway. And they're, 2 years from now, that $1,057 is not going to buy as much as it does today. So, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And then, it's $9.95. And some people would say, that these companies that advertise these really low rates, like $9.95, they only do that to get you on the phone, and then they try upselling you. And we're not saying that would happen, but perhaps maybe you be the one to determine that. Let's take a look at their pricing, though, because we're trying to get $25,000 out of Colonial Penn. But you know what? They max out at 15 units. And if one unit is $1,057, we'd probably need 25 units to get to 25,000, 25 units. but they only do 15 units. Let's just see what it is. Let's explore. So yeah, here we go. So 15 units would be $15,855, and that'd be $150 a month, roughly $149.25, roughly $150. So let's do this. Let's take a look and see what first day coverage would be. And I bet we can save money. This will be interesting. Let's find out here. So 25,000, male, age 62. I'm going to click get quotes, and then we're going to come back here and look at this again. This is 15,000 for roughly 149. And we look here. Oh my gosh, look at this, $111. I want to take you back up and check. I want you all to make sure that I know I'm being honest with you here. $25,000 with this company. This is a great company. We work with them. We can help you get approved with them. This is first day coverage. See that level? That means first day coverage. Level coverage is first day. $111 for $25,000, and that's first day coverage. Or you could go to Colonial Penn and you could get $15,000, roughly $10,000 less. And again, $149, roughly about $40 more. So you can pay $40 more a month for the rest of your life, and you could get roughly $10,000 less for the rest of your life. So you got to be a smart consumer out there, folks. Let us help you be a smart consumer. So, why would you overpay? So this is $40 more a month. That would be roughly $480 a year. For a 62-year-old male, by the time he got to age 72, he would have roughly overpaid right around $4,800, almost $5,000. And he'll have a policy that has $10,000 less coverage, and it's got a 2-year waiting period. It just makes no sense at all. Just be a smart consumer, and we can help you be a smart consumer. Let's look at some of these other companies while we're here. You'll be able to check around all the different insurance companies. Like even here, Lumico. We see them once in a while, level coverage, but that's $120, roughly $10 more a month, just roughly. That'd be $120 a year. You'll overpay $1,200 after 10 years. Why not just keep that money in your own pocket? We can help you with a lower price insurance company. You'll see all these different insurance companies. Let's find one here. Oh, here's one. Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess. I mean, but look at those rates. $155. Ooh, quite a bit more expensive. It is level coverage, first day coverage though. But Lincoln Heritage has got a deal where if, when you die, they will call supposedly like 2-3 different funeral homes and, get the best pricing. They'll do a couple other things, but they charge for it. It's more expensive. They make it sound like it's free and it's included. It is, but you'll pay more for that service versus other companies. So that's $155, and you've got $111 here. So roughly $45 more a month. So that would be $540 more a year, roughly. And after 10 years, that would be roughly $5,400 more. So you got to ask yourself, 62-year-old male, by the time he gets, dies at age 72, is it worth paying an insurance company roughly $5,400 more just to call 2 or 3 funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things that might only take a couple hours? A lot of people would say that's probably a pretty good payday for them. And I think we would tend to agree. That's a lot of money. We don't recommend that. So what we do is we actually provide a free alternative. So you can get this lower price on this insurance here, and then we provide a free funeral and estate planning guide, and you just fill that out. You can download it off our website, print it out and fill it out. Who gets what goes where, and then you just list out all your final wishes, exactly how you would want things done. And you just keep that with your insurance policy. And when you pass away, your family's protected both financially with the insurance policy, but emotionally, that's taken care of too. That, they know exactly what you wanted done. You'd listed it out, and all they need to do is just execute your wishes. And what a wonderful gift to leave behind. What a wonderful act of love when you were thinking of them in a time when you would not be here, and you took care of that in advance so that they wouldn't have to worry, and it would reduce their emotional stress. What a wonderful gift to leave behind for your family. What a wonderful legacy. And it's easy to do. And boy, in this case, you could save, geez, $5,000? Ooh, more, just by going with a different insurance company and, doing something a little bit different. And the nice thing about the funeral and estate planning guide, you can change it anytime you want. No big deal. So go to Funeral Funds of America. We've got these quarters just about every page. We've got a special quarter for our YouTube listeners, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, where you can get the most discounts and the best rates. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. One of our agents can run rates for you and help you get qualified with different insurance companies. And we look forward to helping you out with this at some point in the future. We will enjoy talking with you and helping you understand your options and finding the best plan. And, whether you have an existing insurance policy and you just want to price shop it, or you have an existing policy and you want to add coverage to it, we can help you with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy, we can help you out with that. And if you just have some questions or want to understand how things work or just chat about anything else about these policies, we can help you out with that. We look forward to helping you with this. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.